So today we're going to talk about interview prep. I'm going to break this up into 2 segments. So I'll send you guys another video next week. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, and this is something you need to work on throughout the process, right? It's not like, oh, I got an interview, let me start working on this. This is something that slowly over time you approach, you attack, and you start figuring out really how to answer questions, what the panel is looking for, and who you are as a person, and how you can sell that person to the fire department and elaborate in words why you are the best hire that they need and why you are the best candidate that they're looking for, right? So the first 3 things we're going to talk about today are your why, right? That's your number one question that should be, I'm going to sell myself to the highest level and this is why they're going to hire me. The second thing you're going to ask yourself is, what are your positive and what are your negative attributes? Those are really important. And for every interview panel, understand that they're going to ask you how or what is your best role in a team work or team player environment, right? Because everything we do is a team. So those 3 questions are what we're going to dive into today. And I'm going to kind of elaborate and give you guys some examples of what to look for. So the first question is, why do you want to be a firefighter? So the question is going to be asked in 1 or 2 ways. Why do you want to be a firefighter? Or why do you want to work for, why should we hire you? Why should we hire you? So why do you want to be a firefighter, or why should we hire you? They're kind of the same question asked in different ways. And ultimately, every question that is asked, you should approach it in this format. You should say, okay, they asked a question. I'm going to give 3 answers, and then I'm going to elaborate on those 3 answers. So why should they hire me? Number 1, I'm a very passionate person, right? So that's my first answer. Second answer is, I work great under pressure. And then the third answer is, this has been a lifelong dream of mine to always show up every single day with a purpose and to bring value to people outside of myself. So now I'm going to dive into all 3 of those answers, and I'm going to elaborate on, the first answer, the second answer, the third answer. So understand that if you're answering these questions in under a minute, you're not doing well, and you're not giving them what they need, right? Not that you're not doing well. They're evaluating you on how much information you give them. Also, how much information is actually credible to what they're asking, because you can just sit up there and talk and it be too much as well. So a good answer is anywhere between 2 to 4 minutes for an interview panel. And when it comes to you selling yourself, you have to optimize those 2 to 4 minutes. So when I say you elaborate on an answer, so one of the answers I gave was, I work well under pressure. So I would go into I would elaborate on that answer by saying my upbringing, right? What I did as a kid, what the jobs I've worked that I've been held under pressure, starting at my high school football team since I was a freshman, and always performing, always living up to what my coaches and my teammates expected of me, having a job and working for my dad since I was a freshman as well, and understanding my role as an employee at his job, even though I was his son, and working under pressure, right? The pressure of, being a freshman and starting, being the owner's son and still performing like I was just another regular person. So I just explained my answers for that one answer. The next one would be, I work well as a team. I work well in a team environment. I've been in sports my entire life. I grew up with a brother, so I never did anything alone. Everything was with him. In sports, I've played under a team my entire life, whether it be basketball, football, baseball. Everything has been, being an asset to a group of people, not just a one-person sport. And that is paramount in the fire service. And then I would elaborate why, right? So every answer you give, you should have a why. Why is that important? And why does it make you the candidate they need, right? Why is it going to have you be hired and then just get assimilate into that process seamlessly? So every answer you give, try to connect it to the fire service and how it's important. So the second question we're going to go over is positive and negative attributes. I've experienced they only ask negative attributes, like what are your negative qualities or negative traits, and I have heard people say, they got the positive traits, which is great. Positive traits are awesome, super simple. What are you good at? What do you really excel at? Tell them why it's important to the fire service. From a negative standpoint, every negative needs to be spun into a positive, right? So a negative for me is I'm a perfectionist and I have a high standard for myself and everybody around me. That is bad because not every human operates in that standard, in that fashion. But it's good because I keep myself at a high standard and I will never let myself down or my actions down because I know everything that I do has the signature behind it, and I always want my signature to exemplify hard work, dedication, and passion, right? So see how I just turn that negative into a positive? So any negative attribute you do have, whatever it is, everybody has different ones, make sure you can spin it into a positive attribute. And then the third question that I asked, that I wanted to go over is, the first two were, why should we hire you, or why do you want to be a firefighter? The second one was, name some positive and negative attributes. And then the third one, it's slipping my mind. The third one was, how do you work well in a team environment? That's so important because I'll be honest with you guys, the hardest part of this job is working with different people from different backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, gender. It's literally a pool of just different people all across the board. And you're also dealing with people that have been on the job for 20 years, just newly hired, come from other departments. So it's extremely difficult to work with people that you've never worked with before. And that teamwork attribute, that is really important. And you need to elaborate on that. Now, some people will say, well, I've never worked in the team, Julian. Well, you need to understand that you can always connect your life to being able to work in a team environment. Everybody went to high school. Everybody did a group project. If it goes as low as that, that's fine, right? Hopefully you guys have worked in a job setting where you had to work cohesively with other people. That's a team environment. And then sports is an easy one. That's a team environment. And just explain how important it was that you were bringing the best version of yourself to that team, and you were an asset, not a liability to the team. And then you just bring it back into, why is that important to the fire service? Everything we do as a team. We run calls as a team. We clean the station as a team. We train as a team. Like, we're literally one unit that responds to somebody's worst day, and collectively we help the situation and make matters better, right? So kind of quick overview, guys. Start going over these questions. Put your answers on paper. Get ahead of it. That way, when you do get an interview, because you will, you already are ahead of the ball curve. And when we jump on the Zoom, I can just start asking you questions, and we don't have to start from the bottom line. And this is the foundation. So the second part to the interview process prep through the video series is going to be me explaining scenario-based questions, because a lot of departments are going towards scenario-based questions. And guys, these are just 3 personal questions that are an opportunity to sell yourself. It's an opportunity to explain to the panel why you are the candidate they need and why you are the best hire that they could pick, right? So guys, I'm gonna send you in the email the 3 questions we went over today. Write them down, go over them. Been a little down lately, went through some stuff recently that's personal, and still showed up for you guys, still show up for myself. And I do know that through any dark time that I've ever been in my life, it's for a reason. And it reminds me that you need to appreciate not only the good times, but also the dark times, because they make you stronger and they make you more appreciative of everything that you're going through. So hope you guys like this video. Like I said, write the questions down, get some answers on paper, and I look forward to helping each and every one of you on the interview prep.